Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Rachel.
Hey, so to start, the idea of music having this kind of power is really like for me very inspirational because I music is kind of apparently it's not for everybody, but every day I have music playing in some way, shape, or form, and the idea of like that not being able to be a part of daily life feels outrageous. And so I want to know for you guys, did was there ever a piece of music that kind of moved you in a way that like would inspire you to do something? Not maybe not as drastic as what happens in the film, but like a song that really kind of had that power over you?
Mm, I would have to say that during the shoot, oh, sorry, I thought I was supposed to speak in Spanish, but I would have to say that during the shooting of the movie, it might have been Nirvana. It might have been Nirvana. Like, I barely had that feeling of like, I'm gonna do this and this music is inspiring me. But during the movie, because we're being freakies all the time, you kind of needed that music protecting you and guiding you all the time. So it smells like Teen Spirit. I would play that all day long, Rolling Stones all day long, and that would inspire me to go on set and be like, I'm this energy, like this is who I am now, you know. So I would say that would be it.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
have one, Hector?
before the movie, I was listening uh, a lot of music like uh, Cuban tropical punk, like Escoria,
Mhm.
um, AC/DC, Sex Pistol, Iggy Pop. But in general, what inspired me was the rock and roll spirit. I mean, looking for freedom, anarchy, that kind of energy. I mean, that helped me a lot.
Well, yeah, Eros, I want to ask you a question because I love this sweet boy who just kind of he wants to find his own paradise and like wants to be with his brother, but also like it ends up lying and is like very sweet, but you can tell like he doesn't quite know exactly what he needs to do to protect himself. When you're playing a character that like that innocence and that sweetness has to kind of really push so many of his actions, what was the biggest challenge of making that come across so that we understand that like this is just like a young boy who's trying to figure out how to live in this world?
I think you just said it all right now. That's exactly what it is. It's just a young boy trying to find its spot, its place, its personality in a way. So I would say the biggest challenge might have been remaining loyal to the process, remaining loyal to the journey of that transformation that the character goes through. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
very easy to get distracted and be like, now I want to do this or that. But remaining loyal to that process, I think that was the biggest challenge, to be loyal to Gustavo's evolution.
Yeah, and Hector, Paco's whole vibe and look is so kind of like you instantly know who that man is. Like you know that that's a rock star. You know that that's kind of like he wants to live in that world. How much does the costume and the look of a character like him kind of help you when you're getting into who he is and in your body?
Uh, for me, it was like it's just a young man in Cuba who like rock and roll in at that time, 90s. Uh, Listening American music was a prohibition. To have a long hair was a prohibition. And Paco is just a young man who thinks different, who is angry and hungry, and he has no freedom. He has, and I mean, that's all. That's that's the key of my character. It's just an angry young man
Mm-hmm.
in Cuba who is looking for freedom, and he can do anything. When you have not opportunities, when you have no home, no family, you can do whatever.
Yeah. Well, also, as someone with a cat, I had to like close my eyes at parts of this movie because I was like, I can't watch this. And my cat was watching it like over my computer. And I was like, don't look at the movie because he was like trying to look. I was like, not now. But it also shows the difference between these two characters so well because it is. I was like, I have to eat. I'm gonna kill this thing. I have to eat. Who like you have to get over it. And then Gustavo continues to not get over it and refuses to do it even when he is hungry himself. How, when you guys get a script, do those little things kind of help you guys when you're building this relationship with each other?
Um, I mean, that's thanks to Myers and Tyler Neeson. The way they made the movie, we had a script, but we work a lot together, building the characters, and they give us the space to improvise and be the character in the set. And there is so many scenes that is not in the script. We just improvise. I mean, they 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 made us to be the character all the time, so that particular scene can appear in one moment.
Okay, I would say that it's just a byproduct of being with a group of people that are highly committed to the major good of the project, you know? So that would be it. The more you want this to work, the more it happens. And I was surrounded by people that wanted this to work and to be amazing. Among those, Tyler, Mike, Adria, Hector, all of these guys. For those 2 months, this movie was the most important thing ever, ever. And all these little decisions kind of like happen as a byproduct of that intention.
And it comes across because it is truly one of the most beautiful movies to watch, just like sitting there and like seeing these people try and find a utopia, and then kind of the what happens by the end of the movie is just it is very emotional to watch. But I also love that you guys have these lighter moments. Like I love that baseball scene very, very much. I think it is one of the cutest, sweetest moments. That and like the two trying to play drums, and they think they're great and they're not at all. Like they don't sound good together. When you are, making a movie like this that does have a lot of improv and it is about the lived experience of these characters, what is the fun of those scenes, like the baseball scene where everyone gets to kind of just be chaotic and running around as their characters would?
It. That was the fun of it. Like you didn't have a mark. You didn't have like a place that you knew you had to be in order to like do the acting right. It was just playing.
Hmm.
And the directors figured out a way to grab and to catch that playing in the moment. But you as an actor didn't have to be concerned about all of these little details. So it was just fun. It was the freaky energy. It was running around. It was that energy.
Yes. I mean, we are telling a sad story, and it is a political moment in 90s. It was a difficult moment.
Hmm.
But I think that Mike and Tyler, they were so smart because they really got they really catch the Cuban spirit. No matter how hard are times, you have fun,
You
and
find
you
a way.
find the freedom, and you stay together. And I mean, people, the friends stay together. That's the real Cuban spirit, and it's amazing that two American directors can improve that.
Yeah, it's truly and honestly, like I was watching this movie just shocked by how much I loved everything that was going on. It was so beautiful to watch. But for my last question, I have to ask, Hector, you and we were alive in the 90s, or else you weren't. How was it understanding like it's not just like a regular 90s period piece. It is one that is very, very like rich in history. How was it kind of bringing a history to life that like meant you had to be as like specific about that time period of the 90s, and it didn't get to be, this new thing that we're doing with movies where the 90s are a joke or they're whatever. This is like a very serious look at the history of the time.
Well, I was born in 1989,
Mm-hmm.
so the special period in Cuba was from 1990. Um, and I remember a lot, and it's not that difficult for us because, I mean, we are showing in the movie a really hard moment for Cubans, but right now can be worse. So we maybe I have the same feelings with that Paco have and my brother. So
Part of what makes the process difficult or easy for Cuban people in a way is that they don't know what's really going on outside of Cuba. You know what I mean? Like that's the only reality that you know. And for as long as that's the only reality that you don't really suffer that much, you know. But once you get out and you see how the world's moving, that's when it gets wow. Like this is crazy. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you guys for talking with me. I really, really love this movie, and I can't wait for everyone else to get to see it.
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you
Ray.
guys. Have a great one.